Hey guys, welcome back to another Blood Bowl Majors recap. With me, as always, is Captain Ron,
Hello?
and of course Peter Graz,
Hello.
and for the first time joining us, finally the long-awaited appearance of Alpha Dork himself, Mr. Kevin.
Good evening, all.
Good evening to you. Good evening to you all. Thanks for being here. I'm very excited. It's the week took a little longer again than planned, but not as long as last time. And it seems like we're getting back into a roll here.
On this pace, we'll be down to 1 week by 2021, 2022. This is 2021. I'm confused.
It is confusing. The whole thing is confusing. We had a week of Blood Bowl that spanned a year, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, it's true.
Really, and this is for our younger listeners that span the average time of a Naruto fight.
I was actually going to say, if technically, between 2020 and 2021, that week of Blood Bowl really spanned 2 decades.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
This is just occurring to me now. Anyway, let's not make another 2-hour video. Let's get on with our discussion about the week that we just played. And I believe, Peter, you've got our predictions on file there, ready to go over.
I have last week's predictions ready to go over and talk about.
All right, well, let's talk about the first game that got played, and the first game on our list is Legend of Quango, and they played against the new Khemri team because we can't transfer an old team into the new league. So they're the Leather Pharaohs, which is a pretty good name.
I think we can just skip this one.
Yeah,
we all know how it went.
No big surprises there.
There's nothing to talk about.
Rob's highly skilled up lizard man team beat up on the computer team.
Rob kicked the crap out of an AI team, exactly. So let's move on down.
Well
done,
for
Rob.
the record, we all guessed correctly on the results of the match.
Thank you. I forgot about that. Thank you, Peter. But also, again, as we discussed last time, completely meaningless now because Quango has locked up their playoff spot, and so any game they play is only as a spoiler at this point. So playing Leather Pharaohs is pretty much the most pointless game of the season right there. Anyone else have any thoughts? Or am I talking on my butt?
Nope. Let's go to the next match.
Okay, let's go to. Oh, here's one. The next one, Captain Ron. You were coaching one of the teams here. There's Metal Gods and the Honey Boys.
Hard fought battle.
Yeah, tell us about that. I didn't get to watch that game, so.
Well, it was a little bit more of a slugfest than expected, but no real casualties. There was almost one on the Metal Gods, but luckily his apothecary got him out. It looked like it was going to that I might have been able to score towards the end, but then the ball goes on mysterious ways, and my personal thought, the MVP of the league, RJD,
yeah,
almost pulled a miracle with a miracle pass, almost got Miles the second touchdown, but I was thankfully able to recover, and hard fought battle. No two ways about it.
Well, I have to ask, as someone who didn't watch the game, how was the Metal Gods and their aerial circus for that game?
It was shut down a little bit, but like I said, you never ever count out that orc's arm.
Yeah, well, he
almost pulled it out with a Pat Mahomes like performance.
Hey, he's the best quarterback in the league for a reason.
Yes, it's true.
Any thoughts from Kevin? We haven't heard much from you yet this season since it's your first time here. Did you have any thoughts on that particular? Were you at that game?
I was not at that game, but not an unexpected score. Miles has gotten better at coaching every time I've seen him, and Ron is a shifty bugger.
Ron is a shifty devil with incredible streaks of rolling. It doesn't work every time, but man, he's pulled off some crazy stuff.
Ron regularly does elven BS with non-elven teams.
Yeah, this is the perfect example of that.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
His Norse are closely related to elves.
How so? I'm insulted.
In the shit they pull off.
Well, yeah, I don't find it so. I don't find it so much when I've played Norse. I would never try. So maybe that's I don't try, so I don't succeed. Maybe I should go by Ron's tenet.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
There is only. I was going to say there's only do. There is no try.
I don't want to put words in Ron's mouth, but I think the motto would be "Who dares wins."
Yeah.
Or 60% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
All right. So Peter, what were our predictions for that one?
I believe, you said Ron would win by 1 point,
Okay.
but Ron and I both said draw.
Oh, you guys are the kings. What can I say? Kevin,
Yeah.
did you now? Again, this is retroactive and hindsight and everything. But did you have a prediction on that one, Kevin?
I did look at them last week, but did you ask me in advance? I probably would have called the draw too, being honest.
All right. Well, there we go. So again, predictions hold strong with the group. So we go on to the Warpstone. Now I've heard Peter saying Warpstone. I think that James has said it's supposed to be Warpstone, but he's a bad speller. So James, if you can get back to us and let us know if that's the case, and let us know how to say your team's name.
Or they're just stoned as advertised.
Well, the spelling would be the lowest priority in that case. So let's talk about this game. Actually, why don't you, Peter? Why don't you tell us the predictions first?
For Warpstone versus Ghosts Who Stare at Men.
And save yours for your last when you read those out.
Well, Ron said Goats would win 2-0. And you yourself said the Goats would win 2-1. I said the Goats would win 2-1 with the caveat that if a Halfling Master Chef stole 3 rerolls, the Warpstone Warriors would win.
Okay, and now tell everyone what happened.
Well, in the second half, the Warpstone Warriors stole 3 rerolls and won.
Yeah, the first half ended with the Goats up 1-0.
Not just the first half. The first 3 turns of the second half as well.
Okay, well, I missed that.
And then on the third turn of the second half, he scored, and then 2 turns later he scored, and then 2 turns later he scored.
That sounds like some Skaven.
Yeah, that's typical. That's what we expect.
Yeah.
That's what we expect from Skaven.
That's what's going to happen when you have an 8 reroll Skaven team versus a 0 reroll Chaos team.
It could ultimately be summed up as because gutter runners.
Yep.
Yeah, where I left, I had to go to bed near the end. It was 1-1 when I left the game.
I went to bed.
Like turn 14 too.
I went to bed and then went to watch it in the morning, and I saw the score of 3-1, where I had gone to bed on turn 11, and it was 1-0.
Yeah.
It was 3-1, and I had to watch it before I went to work just to see what happened. Apparently,
Well, okay, let me just tell you. Let me tell you what I saw before you, because you're hearing apparently.
Yeah.
I was there for this part. It was 1-1. The ball was kicked off to the Goats. The Skaven rolled a blitz. They got at least 3 rats in behind the lines, one of which was a gutter runner who got on the ball drop point and caught the ball.
that's what I was going to say, because that's what I watched on the replay.
Yeah. And he was just able to make an easy dodge out. No, he didn't even have to dodge because they'd hit someone. All he had to do was make him. I think he had to make one go for it to score on that turn. And then Nick informed me later that there was one more, and it was 3-1. So, yeah, tough one for the Goats on that one.
Now, my personal talking point of that game is the fact that something happened turn 1.
Right.
Where
yes, that's right.
Cartouche, poor Cartouche the Minotaur, got slapped by a ball and chain and was removed from the game, as he is every week. Turn 1.
Yeah.
Now, we've all played against that team, and I think we've all seen that Minotaur go down in the first quarter of the game and stay down for the rest of the game.
I don't remember that. I know that Minotaur stands and roars a lot instead of doing what the coach wants him to do.
Any thoughts?
I think that it should be noted that really Cartouche is a failed first-round draft pick, and at some point, the Goats are going to have to know that.
Kevin?
I thought my opinions on Minotaurs on any team were well documented. When I play Chaos Dwarves, I never buy one. I haven't done enough Chaos to comment.
Well, actually,
right.
I've had good luck with the Minotaur. I mean, when I've had a team with one, I kind of enjoy them. I think they have wild animal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which is, a lot better than some of the big guy faults.
I would wager that Wild Animal would be better than the rest of them, except that anyone with Wild Animal also has Loner, and that by default makes it worse.
See, I would say the most easygoing big guy trait is, and I'm going to name it wrong, it's the one where you're just 1 out of 6 to fail, whether you're standing by a teammate or not.
Boneheaded.
Boneheaded, thank you.
Yeah,
that's the best one.
That's a good one. Because Wild Animal, it's a 4+, but it's a 2+ if he's like attacking, right? That's the one?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on, so we don't spend forever on this part of the on this segment of our little show here. So next one is again one of our coaches. Actually, the rest of them are all involved coaches that are here in the channel right now. Kazad Doom Patrol versus Dirty Mike and the gang. Peter, why don't you fill us in on that one?
Well, Ron said Dirty Mike would win 2-1, right on the money there, and you and I both said that Dirty Mike would win, and Dirty Mike did in fact win.
That's true. Dirty Mike did win.
And I will be honest, I would not have gainsaid that statement had I been here for predictions.
Dirty Mike not only won, but also reached level 6. He's the 3rd player in the league to do so.
So now he's in Zevon territory.
He is I think above Zevon territory, because not only is he level 6, but he's also rolled 3 doubles.
He's almost
block, dodge, and pro.
And he almost is as hated as Zevon.
Oh, he's hated.
Oh,
he's beloved.
In his community.
I think the place I would put him and where I would put Zevon is grudgingly respected, yet desire to be eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
That's just like Mike.
He's like Dirty Derek Peter.
But yeah, I see the Doom Patrol did. They put up a touchdown there.
They put up a solid point.
And I didn't watch the whole game, but I was there for that one. And again, I thought Dane coached a pretty good game.
He did. Honestly, the deciding factor was that I set up a trap late in the second half. It was 1-1, I believe, and he had the 6th strength Minotaur without. Is it without Loner or without Wild Animal? Either way.
Without Wild Animal.
Yeah, without Wild Animal, 6th strength Minotaur. Horrifying. But I set up a trap, because Minotaurs have Frenzy, where I set up Dirty Mike across from him with 2 guys behind Dirty Mike. So if he failed the first block, he would have 2 red dice, and I managed to take him down out of the game, and then take advantage of the opening created to run downfield and score.
Did you lure him into a honeypot? Is that what you're saying?
If that is what you want to say, then yes, I did.
The Honey Boys have been known to lure men into the honey pot.
We're not talking about the Honey Boys. Anyway.
All right. That's
I can't. The other thing I was going to say is I can't remember many details about the game beyond that, because it was 20 days ago.
Okay, that's quite a while. So let's go on to Kevin's game that he played, the Dreaded Lord versus N-Saba Nur's Minions. A really tough 2-0 loss. And again, Kevin, I wasn't there for the game.
Well, and I'm going to be maybe a little more long-winded than we want. The game is kind of a wonderful microcosm of my season. I knew it was going to be an uphill battle. I was going in down 2 warriors. But I managed to, I think he received the ball. I managed to get it off him. I had it 2 yards past center in a nice, comfortable cage. I think it was on turn 4. Then my computer crashed.
Right.
Yes.
And we had to restart the game. And on the opening drive, I lost my best ball carrier. And my regular luck ensued. It probably would have ended 1-0, but I did some ill-advised things for a Nurgle team in an effort to just get some SPP. late in the second half and turned it over. But I knew the risks when I took them. I mean,
Important question.
2-0 or 1-0, it didn't matter to me.
I have an important question. Did you get the SPP?
What for? What?
Your ill-advised moves.
No, I did not.
That is unfortunate. I'd like to go over our predictions.
Yeah, let's hear 'em.
Ron, you said N7 would take the game. Correctly so. I said Kevin would win. And Dale said draw. Zim said draw.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I remember my reasoning for that was I think you guys were looking at N7 as being a favorite on that one because Kevin had injured guys and stuff. But I think I said I can never count Kevin out.
Aw, you're making me blush over here.
Oh,
I agreed. And I agreed. And to make it more interesting, I said Kevin, so each of us would be different.
Okay, that was the one. I remember you doing one work. I'm going to be different from everyone else because we're so similar.
I did that for this one and the next one.
All right. So so Kevin, we talked about Kevin's season and how things have not been shaping up well for his team's development. But
I do have the note that taking a Bashy team into a league full of leveled up Bashy killers is just a whole pile of no fun.
It can be no fun. That's true. Although again, we'll touch on that topic again in a few moments when we get to the next game.
Yeah. On the plus side, if I remember correctly, you did get 11 SPP.
No, well, one of them went to a stupid rotter that I was not going to hire.
Oh, a loner.
Well, you did get 10 SPP then.
A rotter loner?
Yes.
Damn journeyman rotters. All right, well, let's go on to the last one. That was my game, where I faced my enchanted florists faced the delivery boys.
And I would like to say that you called the results of that game correctly.
What did I call?
You said draw.
I said draw. We didn't give a score though.
And then, yeah. And Ron said you would win, where I said Blair would win.
All right. Well, and then we got the draw. A miracle draw. Again, it was maybe not quite 20 days ago, but it was. I was down 2-0 at the end of the first half and managed to make one up, and then somehow I remember involved a ball steal on turn 18 and a run in, and yeah, it was typical Alfie bullshit that people like to talk about, but it happened. The first half was just, again, what I've been saying about this team, and I don't know if I have I don't know if I have the stones to handle this for too long, because the team will break your heart, because if you take a few injuries early in the game, it's just a trudge to play the rest of it. Playing shorthanded, sometimes you can pull off a little miracle, but when the dice are rolling normally, you can pull off some stuff. You don't have to be rolling miracle dice, but when the dice go against you with a Wood Elf team, it's just frustrating. And again, Kevin knows about the frustration of a low-skill team in a league full of. Again, I'm playing. We both played teams that have basically come in the same time we have.
Yeah. I didn't know if there was an SPP difference, but I was actually.
Well, yours, I remember yours was. You were definitely on the lower end of that SPP competition.
Yeah, I don't remember where you and the delivery boys were, but
I think I was actually a little higher than him. I think it was about 100 higher.
I'm watching those skill ups happen on your war dancers now, and I think the quarter turn is coming soon. You got a couple of level 3 war dancers, and that Wood Elf game changes big time. They can just win a game by themselves.
Yeah, if they can stay up, which they have a hard time doing.
You did name one of them Trainwreck.
Yes, yeah, that's my new guy. I think he got a level too. I think he leveled to 2.
Yeah, he's level 2.
Yeah. So let's move on now to the upcoming week, and what? We can do 4 predictions for each game, so that'll be exciting.
I'm gonna just point out the end tally. Ron and Zim both had 3 correct predictions, where I had 4.
Okay, I thought I was worse than that. I thought I came in dead last, but that's good.
Nope.
I'm in there.
So I'm the week 1 winner of predictions.
Okay, so you are. I'm going to switch over to
but
week 2.
I predicted you to win, so how do I only have 3?
What's that?
It's not important.
We can talk about it later.
Gotta check those numbers. All right, so let's start at the top here. We've got Leather Pharaohs against Delivery Boys. Should we just all basically just agree? I think it's not such a matter of. It's not a matter so much of deciding who's going to win, but how much he'll win by.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the game here. How many touchdowns do the Delivery Boys score? Maybe that's the.
It is Skaven, so there is a high probability it'll be 6.
I was going to go 4. I think
It could get to 6.
I
My
think-
call
I think-
was 4 also. I think 4-0, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that'd be my call too. 4-0.
3-0.
All right, there we go.
The Leather Pharaohs get something lucky along.
I'm
the way.
gonna
I like the way you think, Ron.
say 5-0.
The AI team was the only team to record a interception in the last season.
Yeah, not this IA team though, because that team's gone.
I'm just saying it's the same. It's in the same general ownership.
Whatever those last Pharaohs were, they're gone.
So
Those last Pharaohs who at the end of the season did not have a single level 2 player.
that's an interesting question. So whenever we restart it, does it just give us a Camry team, or does it randomize what we get?
Oh no, I can pick. I can select a specific race. I can randomize. I originally with the first half of the season, I hit random until I got to a race that was not in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So when Camry came out, I thought, oh, that's great. We haven't even had one in there. Nobody's actually played against Camry, so this will be fun. And so in the next one, I wanted to keep it Camry. That's all.
That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. I think we've talked about that game enough. There's not much to talk about with that one. So we go down to the game that should be, as far as I know, is going to be played later this evening. And that is Kevin against myself. They're the Dreaded Lord versus the Enchanted Florists. And again, I think right now I have the edge because Kevin's still in recovery mode more than I am.
Yep.
And I have a few more level guys, so I think I have the edge. Again, that doesn't mean anything when I'm playing.
He's got a lot of angry green auras that will prevent you from moving the ball.
He has
I could give you I will tell you right off the bat, I don't see how I beat you, but I think if the dice roll normal, I can force a tie.
Okay,
Really, every Nurgle player should be playing for a 0-0 game every time because that's just perfect.
Yeah. So so my call is a win. I'm gonna say like if it's a win, it's gonna be a 2-1 or 1-0. Kevin calls draw.
Oh no, I said I might be able to force it. Or I actually think you're gonna beat me. You're gonna beat me 2-0 because I'm gonna go down 1-0 and do ill-advised crap again.
All right, Peter.
I'm rooting for 2-1 Enchanted Florists.
All right. Well, again.
I saw what you did there with the rooting and Floris.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I
Aha.
have to be vigilant for puns whenever Peter's talking. So I wasn't doing that. I was going to say Ron hasn't picked his pick yet, but I do like to point out what I said last week is you can't ever count Kevin out. I'd be very surprised to see no one pick Kevin on this one.
I'm picking a draw, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that's next best thing.
Yeah. You have to come to a game and watch my dice this season. You won't pick me.
I
ever
think
again.
calling a draw, based on everything that we just talked about, calling a draw is calling it for Kevin.
Well, from what Kevin just said, you'd have to take it that way. Unless he just myrtleates a bunch of my elves right away, and then he's going to win.
Oh, I mean, if the dice turn and I injure 3 guys in the first half, that's a whole different game. But I just don't picture that happening.
Or was it, Peter, was it you? Yeah, you sent me that video.
Yes, I did.
What's his name, this game?
Krendor and the riot event taking down 8 out of his 9 players on his side of the field.
I was about to add, my prediction for this league was that at some point in this league, somebody's going to injure a lot of halflings, but then I realized that was the wrong league.
That's true. That is the other league. And,
I would like to enter halflings, but I'm going to say cowardice. Cowardice is involved.
I'm actually going to make a Peter-like prediction for this game, following up on my other thought. If three wood elves get injured, I win.
Okay, there you go.
I'll add that to the list.
Add that, just like you did with the Warriors. Also, can I just get something straight, Ron? Yeah. Are you saying that the coach of the Goats Who Stare at Men who is also the halfling coach you're talking about. Are you calling him a coward?
Yes.
I would
Okay,
personally.
there you guys, you folks heard it here first. Blood is in the water, folks.
Yeah, that's.
Not just coward, a man of low character.
Yeah, you can let him talk to you like that, Nick? All right.
I've added that to the predictions.
He never shows up to find out. He's never gonna know I called him that.
I guess we'll see soon.
That's true. He is not going to watch this video.
Okay, that's true too. Okay, next is Kaza Doom Patrol against Ensabanur's minions. That is
This is an interesting one.
That's an interesting one. Yes.
Mark has gotten very, very good at placement, and
Mark has become. I think Mark has become more of a student of this game than Dane is.
yeah.
I agree.
Dane does have a fearsome team.
I'm going to throw it out there. I think Dane is due. I'll call this one first. I'm going 2-1 for Kazadoom. He can't keep having the luck I'm having. His is extended from last season. I watched one of his games like, how?
I think this is an interesting match because I want to say that the Undead team, as it stands right now, doesn't have the tools to handle a Chaos Dwarf team. With just, there's regen across the board, so likely he's not going to have lots of...
There's
Sorry,
Undead
Necro.
on there, but yeah.
He's likely not going to lose a lot of players, but I really, I don't see a way for him to outstrength him.
Well, if werewolves get lucky on the claws or some...
That's the thing. That's the thing I was getting around to. There are 2 claws, but that would require him to put his werewolves in some dangerous territory.
Well, I was going to say,
and that's a pretty high-risk maneuver when those are his only viable ball carriers.
Angry little men who want to hurt those werewolves.
If they go down, there's always more hobgoblins to follow the furry guys, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see. So
it's hard.
But was it Ron? Did you make the prediction for Kazadoom? Or was it Kevin? I can't remember.
I called it 2-1 for Kazadoom.
Okay, it was Kevin.
I feel like Dane is due.
I feel like he is too.
I'm going 2-1 for the minions.
Yeah,
I like the way Mark plays this game.
Oh, I agree with you. He's gotten very good. It's just I got to give Dane that shot.
I'm going 1-0 Craft Dinner. Kazadoom. KD. Gotta be KD.
All right, I'm having a really hard time with this one, you guys. I want to support Dane, but I think Mark has been on a bit of a roll.
Where are you putting your money?
I'm calling the minions. I'm calling the minions 2-1. Although I'm hoping for Dane. I gotta get behind Dane.
Yeah.
I've seen some big improvements to his team.
Yeah.
He's due for
probably
some
the
wins.
smart money, but
Yeah.
My thinking on this game is that the necromantic team doesn't have the tools to handle it. He's got dodge on one werewolf, but that one werewolf has to go through a field of dwarves with tackle.
Well, let me take a look. Yeah. So the Kaza Doom Patrol is 14-10 with a couple of at least one level up coming.
Yeah, he's got 2.
Yeah, he's got.
There are 2 flesh golems, one of which has block, one doesn't. He's a good player, but I feel like the teams, it's a bad matchup for him as it stands right now.
I just called up the minions up here, and again, yeah, not a lot of SPP on this team yet, but both werewolves have leveled, and so are more dangerous. And he's got one of his flesh golems has block, so.
I think the main issue is that the players he needs to move the ball are also the only players who can deal damage to the dwarves in any real capacity.
Well, he does have a Mighty Blow White now that might...
He does. That's true, but against dwarves, Claw is more impactful than Mighty Blow.
All right, so there we go. Everyone's made their call for that one?
Yep.
Right. Okay, then let's go on to game 4, which is the Warpstone Warriors get to face Dirty Mike and the gang on their tour of doom.
I don't know what the points are going to be in the end, but I think I have the edge here.
Well, I would say Dirty Mike and the gang will have an edge in most games they play, I think. But again, the Warpstone Warriors now have rerolls. So how do we call this one? Well, obviously, Peter, you're calling it for Dirty Mike.
I believe I will win.
And
we'll find out tomorrow.
I think I'm going to have to call it for Dirty Mike as well.
Yeah, I've got to come down on the popular side too. And again, to you, Peter, you've developed in not just throwing away your goblins on fool's errands. You've gotten very good about keeping them out of, tackling them and make it back. Then you
last half, I didn't have a single player in the top 20 most injured. I'm very proud of that.
There you go.
And Dirty Mike, remains as Dirty Mike does. Frightening.
My intention for this game is to kill that +1 armor value lineman because it confuses me. I don't like it. I want it out. Dirty Mike will be blitzing that at some point.
Oh, and sorry, I'm jumping back. I forgot to share with you guys, and no one was on the game. At the very end, I did in fact foul with the beast.
Oh, now I gotta go.
Okay, well, I gotta go watch that game.
Oh, yes, now we are forced.
I don't remember what he does. It wasn't anything tremendously exciting, but
we were hoping for some sort of.
I was hoping for a good tonguing, but I don't think that's what happened.
Oh, it'd be horrible if he just crawls over the guy on the ground. That would be a hell of a foul.
I was calling up pages looking for the one.
And it's
the
not a
armor
line,
value
it's
you
a
talked about.
storm vermin.
Yeah, it's a storm vermin.
The +1 armor storm vermin. I want to kill that. I don't like it. I bring it up every week, every
Well,
game.
We'll see how that goes.
It's just not natural. It's not right.
As much as I would love to say that I think the Warpstone Warriors are going to win due to hubris on the on Dirty Mike and the gang, I'm picking Dirty Mike.
I will remind you all that Dirty Mike's the team as a whole, the track record. Let me just pull up a history and statistics here. 9 wins, 10 draws, 12 losses.
Yeah.
For the whole team. So it's
But I'm still
not the
picking
most reliable.
I'm still picking Dirty Mike to win this game.
All right.
But those are lifelong stats, and this is a
Yes.
team that started out very weak and has built themselves up into a power.
That's true.
And you've also got better at running this particular team.
That is also true.
You're less desperate for Dirty Mike. You would just assume Dirty Mike will get the injuries that you want without being desperate about it.
To be fair, he's level 6 now.
Uh-huh.
He's there's not much higher to go.
And we have mentioned the fact that he's a blodging troll, right?
Yes, a blodging troll with pro. Just
Unbelievable.
everyone who's listening, let that sink in just for a second.
I love Dirty Mike.
All right.
All right.
Let's move
Metal
on
Gods and
here.
Goats.
Metal Gods and the Goats in our 5th game on our schedule. That is another tough one for me.
Yeah, that's going to be one where I'm not sure what the score is going to be, but I think there's going to be some injuries.
Now, as we were just talking, I know he's not watching the video, but Nicholas, I want you to foul in this game because you know that your opponent is going to be doing it to you. We all know this. You have to foul.
Actually, Miles doesn't foul a ton.
Let's all get something clear immediately right off the bat here. Piling on is fouling without the danger.
Well, I was going to say, piling on isn't fouling. Piling on is using a wonderful skill that the game provides you. And thereby
You
not
know what
having
else
to
is
go
using a
through
wonderful skill
roll.
the game provides you? Dirty player.
It does.
So let's get that out of the way. Mechanically, it is fouling
No, it is
without the
not.
danger.
It will not get sent off. It's
That's what I'm saying. Without the danger,
But
it is fouling without the downside.
Oh, I'm trying to pick a score in this one.
Well, coming up,
So
how do Goats usually do after coming off a terrible die roll loss?
well, I can pull that up right now.
Do they recover from that and do well, or do they go through a bad streak for a while? That's where my head is at.
Okay, I'm going to go out in advance because even in games where he's been mismatched, Miles has gotten very, very good at forcing draws in games where he's mismatched.
That's true.
So I'm going to go draw.
I can get behind that.
All
Because I think the edge and overall team strength goes to the goats. But I said he's gotten very good at protecting the ball and forcing situations and working a draw.
I'm going to point out one important piece of information. He is getting 2 level 5 goat men right now.
Ouch.
Okay, well, I'm going to go with since Cartouche got taken out so early, I think we're going to have a full game out of Cartouche this time, and I think it'll give the goats the edge. So I call them winning, say 1-0.
I'm going to get this out of the way. I don't think Cartouche has ever been there for an entire game.
I'm calling it. He's going to be there
Okay.
for the full game.
I'm adding that to your predictions.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. The Metal Gods are a real deal team. There's no way a pack of cowards is going to beat them. I'm calling 3-0 Metal Gods with many injuries on the.
So we're getting
the
some
cowards.
coach resentment carryover from one league to another, folks. That's what's happening here.
There's.
Well, sometimes you just gotta call it the way you see it.
Yeah. No, you do, and you did.
I think
Steve Harris is going to lay out a Cartouche who's laying on the ground.
it will go to the goats.
No, Nicholas killed one of Ron's horses in Circus Maximus about 20 years ago. That was me. Wait, hang on.
There's an inside joke.
Thought you'd appreciate that one.
And apparently I am on the outside.
Everyone else who will be watching this will also be on the outside.
When Rob
Except for
watches it,
Bell.
he'll know.
Except
When
for
Rob
Bell,
watches
yeah.
it, he'll know
Rob
what
will
I'm talking
know.
about.
He will. Yeah, we're going to start metagaming now. Let's move on to Legend of Quango versus Honey Boys.
You know,
Speaking of Rob, see,
on
let's
the last
take this
match,
for you.
I am going to point out one more thing on that last match. The Metal Gods do have 2 players with tackle. However, one of them is injured for this next game, which means Cindy Clopper will have reign of the field.
Does that change anyone's prediction?
I'm sticking with the draw. I'm gonna go a high scoring draw. I'm gonna go 2-2, by the way.
Okay.
I'll add
Put a
that.
number on it beside the draw.
Cowards will not beat the Metal Gods.
Okay, so nothing changes. But for Quango versus Honey Boys, the one team now that has secured a playoff spot is the Legend of Quango. So, in theory, they are the team to be reckoned with.
I maintain that their record so far has been largely down to luck.
Oh, I mean that's many of the cases.
Yeah.
Is there enough of an SPP difference for you to get that crazy Yeti run?
I can check that out right now. So let's see. The
That
Honey
will affect
Boys.
my
The
prediction.
Honey Boys are 16-10 right now. Let's see if anyone.
And Lizards are 1860.
Just check. There are 2 injuries though. There are
Well, that's
2
only run 11 players. So
That'll
that's
be 11
the
players. So that'll be he won't have any added TV any TV to that. And then we have where is there's Quango. Quango is 1860. So just make sure nothing's
Yeah.
getting added to that. He's got one guy out.
One's
So
king, so that'll
he's-
be like 60,000.
Yeah, but he has enough guys.
Oh no,
that-
he's got anything out of it. No, that's legit value.
So
then.
that will be the two team values then. So so you'll have what is that? 250.
Yeah.
So the Honey Boys will have about 250 in inducements plus whatever you want to throw out of your coffers there.
What's that Yeti cost?
Here's what I'm going to call this
No,
one.
hang on. I want to hear the answer to this question first, Peter.
Hey Ron, what's that Yeti normally cost you?
I would have to double check. I do not have those figures at that
Okay.
point.
It's
That's-
probably around 300K.
Yeah, but if you,
So if you're willing to put in some of your own money, I think you can get it.
if you get that Yeti, you win. Otherwise, I'm calling a draw.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
Every
add
prediction
that.
I was going to have notes to go with it.
Well, it's fun.
That's more fun though.
It is.
It makes the predictions
It
a little
makes-
bit more unique.
It creates little
Well,
side bets, really.
The Yeti gives you an answer to that extra strength 5 monster he has on the line. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and plus that the star player Yeti is he's the one who does not have loner, right?
No, he's great.
And
He does
he
not have wild
still has that horrible aura.
He has loner. He does not have wild animal.
Ah, that's what it is.
Okay, but he does have ferocity. It's not what I was,
All right.
not what I was
Which
gonna
would
say.
give me
The other edge Ron has is because you've got a few frenzy guys. In fact, the two teams
The
that
punish.
the two teams that went in and play Legend of Quango are you, because you have alternate ways of dealing with those bloody skinks, and Miles because he has enough tackle and enough damage to put them in the ground where they belong.
Put them in the ground.
So
Yeah,
Alright.
and yeah, you with a couple frenzy guys, yeah, you can surf skinks.
because get rid of his skinks, and that's a long game for him.
Yeah. So
My prediction is that it will go to the Honey Boys, unless again Rob manages to get that 5 strength Saurus to pick up the ball successfully. In which case, he's definitely going to score on that drive.
I'm counting on him not being able to do that.
You know what? I was counting on it too, and then he did it again.
Well, it's happened 2 games so far, hasn't it?
3.
Okay, so it can't happen again. That's crazy talk.
No, that's a pattern.
That's
I'm still calling Honey Boys. I think Rob is now filled with hubris over his playoff spot and his drawing first blood in the second part of the tournament. I think he will come in unprepared and lazy and find himself on the business end of the Honey Boys.
All
So
of this, my boys are going to be oiled and ready for this game.
What's your prediction?
Honey boys are winning 2-1.
Okay.
I'm going to call this one 3-1 for Honey Boys.
I have a lot to live up to now.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
I'll put 2-2
All right.
I'll put 2-2 on my draw prediction and 3-2 with the Yeti.
All right.
All right, there we go. So now let's finish up as we always do by taking a look at our. Well, I guess we should take a look at the leaderboard. Not much to see there, but we do have 4 teams at 1.
Hooray!
And
I'm in first.
Yeah, so that puts the Legend of Quango, Warpstone Warriors, Ben Sabiner's Minions, and Dirty Mike tied for first right now. And then I guess the draws are tied for 5th. That's my Florist, the Delivery Boys, the Honey Boys, and the Metal Gods, all holding that spot. And everyone else is tied for 9th. So if I go to the league leaders, let's go to. Okay, I have to go. Oh, Hall of Fame. That's what I want. There it is. Okay. So let me find the correct one though. Season 2, Part 2. We want Season 3, Part 1. Season 3, Part 2. Wow, that's a long way to get to. I guess we got to do some bookkeeping. All right. So most experienced. Who cares? Who got experienced players in the league? Big whoop. Let's move on to most violent.
You've gotten
And
very quiet all of
Hey,
a sudden.
you step back there, Mr. Kretschuk.
what's that?
Oh, there, now I can hear you. We can hear you there for a second.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that for everyone?
Yeah, you're quiet.
You're back
What?
now. That's all that
Okay,
matters.
That's weird. Okay, I'll change my mic position. Maybe it's not activating as often because I moved it down a little bit to cut down on the hot mic situation. But we have, I'll go again. We have the most violent players, and I just went
Hooray!
to the top 20 so we can just see if the top 3 hold. And they
I'd like to
don't
point
because,
out that-
I just want to point out also that Ghidorah is tied for 3rd with Taurus Bulba, who we can't see on this chart. So
All right.
I'd like to point out that the hot mic situation would be a great name for a band.
it probably is actually. But okay, most violent. Anyone big surprised at what they're seeing here?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
I, for one, am shocked.
Dirty Meg at the top. I'm nice to see Dane having one of his guys in there, even though you can't see him. He is tied for 3rd for being most violent. Again, most violent refers to knockouts. Okay,
Oh,
Peter.
I don't
Peter,
honestly know.
Peter had this last time, so I thought he would answer us. But
Oh, what is that, sorry?
oh, great!
Most violent? You're
Right
asking
on
for
air,
knockout?
Peter. For heaven's sake, which one is most violent?
Most violent is casualties.
Just any casualties?
casualties. Kills, no, not kills, because kills are on their own category.
Yeah.
Where Dirty Mike is also at the top,
Is
I
that
might add.
injuries and knockouts, Peter, or just injuries?
That's just injuries.
Okay.
Yeah, the other
You know, it
one
might
is-
include deaths as well.
Well,
but it's not
We
knockouts.
figured this out once, but I never write this stuff down.
I have
So hang on.
looked it up.
Go to the
Biggest
top,
brutes is knockouts. Most violent is anything worse than a knockout.
go to top 4. Go to top 20 again. So that means Dirty Mike injured 4 guys in the first game.
Yes.
Nice.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just checking.
All right, well, let's move on to best receivers. Look at that. Who's number 1?
Well, that would be the
Electric Dane.
Actually tied for first with Terrence Cramps from the Lurg.
Which is a testament to the ill-advised things I was doing with the Lurg team that I threw the ball more
Twice.
than none.
He's
Yeah, I'd
received
say
the ball
so.
twice.
Hey,
then-
that's 2 SVP.
Right, and then we have a bunch of folks tied for third. We've got Much Tail Sniffer, Pete Fastlegs, Hits Escape, Utton, Tommy Guns, and Richie Blackmore. So spread around a little bit.
For some reason, that name popped into my head while I was at work today,
Which
and I
one?
realized it's Hits Escape button.
Yeah.
I don't know why it never occurred to me before.
Well, it's when you say it out loud, you can hear it.
Clicks.
Yeah, it was the first time I'd ever said it out loud to myself, and I realized, oh,
Okay, serial kills so far 1, and that also affects our deaths of the week. It's below our predictions.
yep. Dirty Mike killed a guy, but we all predicted 2 or more.
So yeah, Dirty Mike's killed a guy.
off carries.
Interceptors, I don't know if we have any. No interceptors. But biggest brutes. Let's
Is
see
that's
here.
knockout? Because that's all. Yeah, that was where my team lived last
Okay,
week.
so we've got Guapo the Unstoppable is in first place with 3, but then we've got Uncle Frank and Billy Bashy tied with 2, but they're also tied with Godzilla and White Widow. Hey, look at that! I got a guy on the list, you guys.
Hot damn.
Very nice.
A brute, apparently.
What's amusing is that I'm on the receiving list and you're on the brute list, Dale. That's really
That's-
entertaining.
Okay, that's
Impressive.
That's a good point. Good point. All right, biggest brutes, best throwers like RJD,
No one is surprised.
managing. Okay, after leading the league in the first part, he has jumped into the lead in game 1. So it is not a coincidence. It's not a fluke.
And look at that, Peter. You know how the season's going when Jiminy Ricketts from the Lurg is number 2.
And then a third. Oh, tie for third. Naughty Nathan and Mr. Calzone.
And all the way down in 8th, we got Spooky, Son of Scary. My new thrower after the last one died.
All right, we went to rushers. Starting at the top with Pete Fastlegs by a wide margin, I might add.
I wouldn't say I'm surprised by that, considering that was his only gutter runner for the last game.
Well, he did all the running then. Cindy
He's the one
Clopper.
who caught it, and he must have been the one who caught his own punt.
No, that was he's on Delivery Boy with Boys. You're thinking of Warpstone.
Nice to see
sorry.
Dan on the list with Goblin Williams, too.
Yeah, Gollum Williams in there. And again, their numbers. Yeah, 58 yards, 76 yards, and 108 yards for Pete Fastlegs.
You know, I have to. I miss looking at the list and just seeing Zevon at the top.
I know you do, buddy. All right, best passers. Okay, Naughty Nathan at the top of this one, followed by RJD, Mesh Tail Sniffer, Jimmy Ricketts, Flicks the Quicks. First time on the list, I think. Pox Baker.
It's a good name.
Spooky Son of Scary, and there's Mr. Calzone again. So yeah, there you go. How do you feel, Ron? Naughty Nathan has
He's gonna try and take the title from RJD.
he's really working at it, yeah.
because he also is angling for a bigger contract.
Okay, well that explains it. All right, best scorers, and hits escape button with 2 and a whole bunch of people. I'm not even gonna go list them because there's 18 more. But yeah, if you take a quick look here, I'm not gonna read them, but I have got them up on screen, so anyone who really wants to can pause and take a look at it if they want. But let's move on to most matches. Who cares again? There we go. Best punching bags. Yeah, one of everyone's favorite.
This is the stat everyone likes.
Not particularly.
We've got a first place tie. It's a 5-way tie. So the 3 here are tied with 2 each.
And that's
So-
knockouts? They've been knocked out that many times?
I believe that's what it is, knockouts, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got Electric Dane, Phil Polio, Amply Hung Jamie Carroll, and then Super Lemon Haze. Hey, I've got a guy on a list too. Even on, I don't care if it's a bad list. I'm on a list. And then Tenant Bithor Tefani. Anyone got that one? Tenant Bithor.
It's a computer team name. That's all I know.
Tate
Uh,
Bithor Taffy.
I
Let's
guess.
go with it.
I guess the AI team doesn't bother with a lot of puns, so
We shall know them as David Tennant.
Okay, very well. There we go. There's our punching bags.
I think that's the last list, isn't it?
And that is it for the list.
That
So,
is it.
Excuse me.
so I'll go back to. Actually, let's go back to this league here. I'll call it up on the schedule again. I will confirm the round now. There we go. The round is confirmed. Everyone is good to play.
Very good.
And another successful set of predictions, I think. Very curious to see how this one's going to turn out. I made a couple calls against my better judgment, but got to support the guys.
I'm excited.
It was fun to be here for one of these. Poke at me, I'll come do more.
Well, we're glad to have you. And I'm glad to, again, this isn't a closed little team. We're right now in our Blood Bowl chat room. At any point, someone may have joined us, but didn't. But again, anyone who does come in is welcome, as long as they kowtow to the core group here. Got to pay your dues.
I'm gonna leave one parting thought for Ron.
Kiss
Just to
the
make me
ring.
happy. You still there, Ron?
Yes.
I'm playing Dale next. I'm hoping at the end of this I can say I've never seen that many elves injured since I last saw Kerrigan at Rathy Basin.
There you go.
All for you, Ron.
Hey, it's an inside joke that Peter can follow, though.
Hooray!
All right, and with that, we'll bid you all good day. Good luck to everyone in the upcoming week.
Yeah.
And we'll watch for you guys on the pitch. So thanks,
May
you guys.
May Nuffle favor you.
Thanks for
It's gonna
joining
be
me,
a good
guys.
week.
And for me, Dale, and for one of you has to do it.
Me,
Kevin.
and him, Peter,
Yeah.
And Ron.
and Ron.
Thanks for
Ronald.
joining us, you guys. We'll see you all again next time. Bye-bye.